Getting in live pictures of the French President Emanuel Macron holding a roadshow in Jaipur. I'm going across straight to my colleague Shawan Sen, joining us live from Jaipur as Emanuel Macron lands in Jaipur. The roadshow has begun. Over to you, Shawan. Shawan, can you hear me?
Well, in fact, Niranjan, I'm not sure whether you can hear me. Let's just take our viewers through the arrangements that have been done here in the heart of Jaipur city. In fact, this is the route that is going to be taken by the Prime Minister as well as French President Emmanuel Macron. This is expected to take place roughly post 4 o'clock. Remember, right now, the French President has already landed in Jaipur. He's headed to Amer Fort, where he's going to spend roughly about 30 minutes, where they have lined up of local artists. And thereafter, once he reaches here in Jantar Mantar, which happens to be a UNESCO World Heritage Center, it is here where the Prime Minister would also be, will be with the French President. In fact, this is one place which is going to be significant because remember, once he comes here, they're also going to showcase the UPI payments that are going to take place. All the payments that are going to be made by the Prime Minister would be through UPI. The reason why I say this, because remember, France happens to be one of the first countries to have accepted UPI payment. And more importantly, in terms of the digital technology that both the countries have actually embraced, remember, France has been at the forefront of it. If you take a look at the relation, France and India relationship, one pivot happens to be with regards to technology sharing, and that is exactly what is going to be showcased. Now, as far as this trip of the French President is concerned, it is more about pomp and grandeur, not so much about the substance, because given the fact that this has already happened in the previous visit of the Prime Minister in France during the Bastille Day, it was then when it was decided of Horizon 2047, which is essentially going to be how India-France relationship is going to develop over the next few years, and a roadmap has already been laid out. Right now, the focus would largely be to look into the cooperation between both the countries, the progress that have been made by both the countries, but also to send across a very strong message about the growing relationship between India and France. So you are going to see more of a show, a grandeur right now, and these are the arrangements that have essentially been done. A lot of people have also gathered here, Niranjan. What is going to happen over the next few hours is that when the roadshow actually begins from here, you would have the Prime Minister as well as French President on an open jeep. Of course, you have all the shops that have been lined up in this area. They're all open. You would have a large number of people who have already started coming in right now. Expected that once the cavalcade actually passes through here, there would be some sort of an interaction that's going to also take place. And thereafter, we are given to understand that there'll be a dinner that is going to be hosted here in Jaipur, and thereafter the French President leaves for the national capital, where he is going to be the chief guest for the 75th Republic Day.
Yeah, we're looking at the live pictures from Jaipur right now. Shawan, there as the French President Emmanuel Macron lands in Jaipur. Those are the pictures. There will be a roadshow. This will be followed by a big roadshow between the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister and the French President will be there in the walled city and also will visit the famous Jaipur monuments. They will be at the Jantar Mantar, Hawa Mahal, the Amber Fort, Albert Hall. And these are some of the details that we picked up. Emmanuel Macron is the chief guest at the 75th Republic Day celebration tomorrow. And both Macron and the Prime Minister are in the Pink City, that is Jaipur, for a 6-hour visit that will not just promote Jaipur, Rajasthan as a tourist destination for visitors from across the world, but also aim to perhaps showcase the spread of the digital economy in India. Shawan? A lot of significance attached also to this visit of Emmanuel Macron ahead of Republic Day.
Well, let's not forget, France happens to be one of the most important, significant strategic partner of New Delhi. And more importantly, it has only over the years been strengthened by the Prime Minister himself. Remember, he was, after all, the guest of honor on Bastille Day. At that point in time, remember, both the countries have essentially spoken about what's going to be the roadmap of taking forward this strategic partnership, very different than the other European nations, be it for that matter Germany or for that matter Netherlands. But France has a different, relationship with India. And as they say, it is about a partnership of national security. It is a partnership for the planet. It is a partnership for the people. Now, these are the three strong pillars of this entire relationship. Today, where you have, perhaps this is the sixth time that you've had a French president attending the Republic Day. Importantly, this is the reason why they're saying a lot of focus is going to be put on developing this relationship. It is going to be seen as a soft power at this point in time. Today, largely it is going to revolve around the soft power. There isn't much discussion as to whether at all there is any, anything that any contract, a bigger contract, as many would say, that is associated with the India-France relationship. Will that be inked this time? That clarity isn't there, but largely it's going to be looking into the cooperation between both the nations on several other factors. Defense cooperation happens to be one of the crucial areas. Let's not forget that several deals that have been signed so far in terms of defense cooperation, Rafale being one of them, 36 Rafales that were brought in, the Scorpion class submarine development that's taking place, jet engine, remember the jet engine technology is also something that India has been looking forward to. An agreement has already been signed with HAL. That's in terms of national security. But beyond that, if you really look at in terms of partnership with people, it is France that has opened up the doors for Indian students. They're looking at by 2030, roughly about 30,000 students from India participating in universities in France. There is a visa program that has also been opened up for students who have studied in France for about 5 years. A short-term visa has been introduced by France. So in terms of looking at the situation right now with France, remember it's going to be very crucial because a lot of geopolitical changes have actually taken place. Remember, for France too, with India as being seen as a strategic partner, things have also changed. We are talking at a time when the counter-offensive by Ukraine has been completely stalled. Just about a few months ago, the Middle East was completely silent when the Prime Minister had met French President. The situation no longer remains the same. Middle East is in turmoil, and certainly France would be looking forward to some sort of a cooperation from India at this point in time, the way they have seen in the case of their UAE or for that matter Qatar. So it is going to be important as to how exactly India reacts to it. The French president is visiting at a time when things have actually changed geopolitically speaking. But having said that, today is a day where perhaps both the leaders are largely going to look at how culturally this relationship has also flourished over a period of time, and it has marked the 25th anniversary of its strategic partnership. And let's not forget, India has never forgotten the kind of association that it has had with France in the past too. It has always stood with India right from the time when there have been sanctions that were imposed by the West. It was France that stood by India. So that is a relationship that India certainly cherishes. That is something that the Prime Minister acknowledges, the fact that France has always been on our side.